Thank you very much for inviting me. I feel really honored to be here with you today. My name is Andreas Büttner. I'm the special envoy for combating anti-Semitism in the German federal state of Brandenburg, which is the surrounding state in Germany, the surrounding state from the capital city, Berlin. And I was appointed in June 2024 as the special envoy. I was elected in parliament by the majority of the members of parliament. I am elected for 6 years in office. So it's not attached to a regular, what's the name, legislature time. I am completely independent. No one is above me. And so I can say and do whatever I want, which gives me really a good feeling, and I can act very quickly. Before that, I was member of parliament, was the chairman of the Committee for Interior Affairs. Before that, I was the deputy minister for health, social affairs, labor, and families and women in my federal state. And before that, I was also a member of parliament. And originally, I worked 25 years as law enforcement officer in Berlin.
Oh, wow. So your career has been a career of service. Your entire life, you've been in the service
Yeah.
of the people. How was the transition from law enforcement to lawmaker?
Well, that was interesting. First, I was very excited. I still remember my first speech in Parliament. I couldn't speak anymore because the mouth was completely dry because I thought all of these incredible people are sitting there. I understood a couple of months later. I did understand that they're normal human beings with all their mistakes and everything else. And I was one of the speakers in Parliament who had the most speeches. So there were days where I had 11 to 12 speeches in the debates. So I got pretty much deeply involved and attached to it. And I think it's good when you come from law enforcement and you go into a parliament, you have a better understanding what it means when you pass a bill in the parliament, what it means for the people out there. So I
Yeah.
think the best way is to have some good profession to go into parliament and to go back as well.
Mm.
After my first time in parliament, I went back for 3 years to law enforcement. So I came from
Oh.
the parliament, faction leader, and went back to my law enforcement activities.
And what made you come back again?
Well, the call to become deputy minister. We had quite a scandal with cancer medications in my state, and the minister and deputy minister had to step down. And
Oh.
my task was to investigate what happened and to build up the ministry new, because everyone in this ministry, working in this ministry, was quite well. They didn't know what to do anymore, and so my task was to put it all together again and to make a complete, full working ministry out of it. And then there was the elections in the state, and we were kicked out of the government, and I became member of parliament again, and then the
Wow.
chair of the Committee for Interior Affairs.
And so your role right now is, could you describe what your role is and what is the connection to our community?
Yes, I was officially appointed commissioner for the fight against anti-Semitism in the state. So I'm the one who's the first one to speak to for all victims of anti-Semitism. I'm also the one who's responsible for the Jewish community in my state. Also, we do have in every federal state we have commissioners for the fight against anti-Semitism, also on the federal level, and we have a special group within these commissioners. So I'm the representative for Brandenburg, and the, the, the most important part is to speak out loud. And whenever there is anti-Semitism, may it be left wing, right wing, or center, or Islamistic, whatever, and to educate people about anti-Semitism and what it means for those who are who well who are victims of anti-Semitism and how this is life-changing, and to bring more empathy um, to the people for the Jewish community. And for the second part of your question, I was also someone who worked on this issue long before it became a formal mandate. So I worked voluntarily for 30 years, voluntarily politically on combating anti-Semitism in municipalities and civil society and political debates in the cooperation with Jewish communities. I saw over years the warning signs early, and I saw the discomfort many prefer to avoid. I saw how anti-Semitism adapts, modernizes, intellectualizes itself. And so the members of parliament and the governing parties asked me in 2024 to become the formal commissioner.
And how do you feel about handling this role? Because this is not an easy role to represent us, to represent the people who are reg hated and attacked on a regular basis. This is a very difficult role. How do you deal with that?
Well, you're right. It's a difficult role, but when I became the commissioner, my commitment was to do whatever is necessary to speak out. And Germany, with the history of Germany and all the commemoration events we have in Germany, when politicians are there and they tell us never again, what does it
Mhm.
mean? Are those only words? Or do we have action behind never again? I hear too often never again. Go somewhere else and see the demonstrations, the anti-Jewish demonstrations in the cities of Germany. So
Yeah.
what does it mean? And of course, I knew from my own history, from my own family history, which is part West Jewish. Um, I I know what it means when people are attacked just because they're not even different, just because they have a different faith and they belong to different people, maybe. Um, so I can deal with that. And I've decided for myself and with my family that whatever is necessary privately and in this official role, we will do it, no matter what.
That's amazing. I have chills just listening to you. This is amazing. First of all, thank you so much. And thank you to your family because I'm sure it's not easy for them to stand with you in that spotlight. And also, I wanted to hear from you a little bit about what happened recently that made us come together today.
Well, you see, in every bad thing, there is a positive result. We came together today.
Yeah.
It was in the night from the 3rd to the 4th of January. I was literally falling asleep in my chair, which was a lucky thing. And in the night, it was about 3:30 in the morning. I woke up hearing a noise. It was like splattering glass. So I looked out of my chair, and the chair is like very close to the main entrance door, and I saw that the glass is broken. And I saw some light, which was not usual. So I went into another room, looked out of the window, and I saw that my second house, which is a regular house, just smaller, and we use it as a what do you call it in English? As a barn, as a stable, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
where we put things in,
Yeah.
and and I saw that it's on fire. I then realized that something is obviously wrong. I went into the room of my 70-year-old boy. His girlfriend was there, and I told both, whatever will happen, you stay here. Then I went upstairs, where the rest of my family was sleeping. So I went to my wife and said, listen, this fire, and someone was on the property, and please call the police and the fire department. She called the police, woke up my other 15-year-old son, and I went into the room to my oldest son, who's 22, with his girlfriend. They were just by coincidence with us, because usually they live somewhere else. And he ran down the stairs and started immediately to fight the fire. And I told him, "Don't go, don't go. Let's wait. We don't know if there are people on the property." But he didn't hear me.
Mm.
And then I went out as well. And after a while, well, first, of course, we started to fight the fire and waited for the fire department. But after a while, I looked at my door because I wanted to see what is really broken, and I saw that there was the red Hamas triangle on the door as well painted. So I understood, okay, probably not terrorists, because if it had been terrorists, I most surely would be dead now. But some people who came to my property, to my private property, and attacked us on that. And since I was sleeping downstairs in my chair, I heard it early enough. So the fire department had to work for 2 hours to
Oh,
stop the fire. But it was not in the, it came not to the roof. Had it come to the roof, um, it had automatically been on the main house,
mm.
which would have meant we could have only went through the windows. But I was, yeah, at least we were lucky. And so, everyone came, like the police, of course, many police came, really many police. And the night was over. And this was the moment when I said to my family, well, let's think about how we can deal with this, because now the family is affected. It's not only the threats and the insultings, which are mostly online or when I have debates, but it's also now on the private property, and my family is there. And my 17 years old son, he was the first to speak out and said, "Are you crazy, Dad? You're doing exactly the right thing. Keep doing it. Keep doing it."
Wow.
We decided all together as family on that Sunday morning we will go to work and go to school on Monday morning, which we did.
Wow.
So and on this Monday morning, when I came into my office in the parliament, I looked through my letters which I received, and I saw a letter with it was like sand or something which went out of the letter, and I saw there was no sender on it, and so I called our security and said, "There's a letter, please take it," and it was another threat.
Oh,
The sand or what it was which was inside was not dangerous, the police said, but at least was another threat. And 2 days later, there was another letter coming at home with another threat, But
yeah.
all of this, I mean, it could have happened to anyone, anywhere. This is what people need to understand. When you're at the wrong place at the wrong time, it can happen to you. We've seen it in the last years all over the world. May it be on October 7th, may it be on Bondi Beach in Australia. It could be everywhere, and it could be anyone. And so this time it happened to me. And but the, the focus needs to be on the job. There are people out there who need this help and who
Yeah.
need someone to support them. So whoever that was, we don't know it yet. I hope the police will find out who it was. But whoever it was, he will not, or they will not win. They will not bring us down. We will not back down. So the only thing which they accomplished at that night was that I got the chance to talk to more people, a lot of
Mm.
interviews, um, and to continue my fight. So what else?
Mm.
I, I'm not the one who will be dictated by some idiots who try to arson other people's property. No way. Yeah, that's what happened.
Amazing. I don't know what, like, I'm speechless. Like your reaction and your family reaction is so commendable. I appreciate it so much. Your sacrifice and friendship and understanding of the situation and standing on the right side of things. It's so not taken for granted. It looks like it's so obvious for you, but when we look around us, we see that yes, we have people, amazing people standing on our side, and you are definitely one of them, but it's not everyone. And a lot of people choose to hide or to avoid or to, I mean, understandably, naturally. And so you have no regret for the position that you're taking and you just want to focus on the job. Do you have like a manual of what you think we should all be doing in order to make the situation better?
Well, first of all, it's no option for anyone to be silent. Whenever things happen, whenever we see that there is rising anti-Semitism, or I prefer call it Jew hatred, um, then we need to speak up. We need to educate more, and we need to tell our politicians that whatever is necessary has to be done, and it needs to be financed.
Mm.
Um, so anti-Semitism was already rising before October 7. Yeah, we had the right-wing extremist anti-Semitism in Germany rooted in conspiracy myths and the Holocaust denial. We had Islamist anti-Semitism often imported through Middle Eastern conflict narratives, and we have a left-wing anti-Semitism frequently disguised as radical anti-Zionism. So when you try to take action, it means you need money as well. You
Mm.
cannot fight anti-Semitism with only words. You have to act. We had enough words. We had enough diplomacy. It's time to act. And so everyone needs to speak out loud. We need to hear more people who have been attacked. We need more witnesses of what happened. We had two weeks ago, we had organized together with the American Jewish Committee in the parliament, in my parliament, an evening where we showed the children of October 7.
Mm.
And we had one survivor there, now 17-year-old. And she explained what happened on that day. And people need to hear it because since October 8, actually, we hear different stories of October 7. And so that's what we have to do, not to be silent, not to be afraid of what will happen, but to be outspoken.
Amazing. How do you deal with people that probably in your workplace even don't think like that, or like we know all the men, like the vocabulary that the other side is using, saying things like we deserve it, or they meant something else, or the entire gaslighting or victim blaming, inversion, truth inversion. How do you react to those things on a daily basis?
Well, you have two different forms of people. Those who do not understand what's going on, okay?
Yeah.
And they keep telling me, okay, Israel is an apartheid state. All the Jews are fighting for Israel, and all the, all those things. Yeah,
Mm.
child murder, whatever. They just hear the news. They don't know what's going on, and you have to explain them day over. Day over from the morning to the evening, I tell them, okay, listen, legitimate criticism of an Israeli government's policy is part of a democratic debate. Israel is a democracy. It has a vibrant civil society. It has intense internal political conflicts. Criticism of policy is normal. But what we often witnessed in Germany after October 7 was something different. It was slogans calling for the destruction of Israel from the river to the sea, open glorification of Hamas, the framing of the massacre as resistance, and collective blame directed at Jews worldwide. So these are the one people you can talk to them. And then there are the radical idiots. I call them radical idiots because they are radical idiots. They do not want to understand. You cannot even start a debate with them. I've tried many times and I have invited them, but it's not possible to talk to them. So whenever they do something which is under German law a criminal offense, you have to go and prosecute them because that's the only language they understand. They need to understand that what they are doing in their moral fantasies, it's not human rights activism. This is not. Um, it's this is what's the word? Delegitimization of Jewish self-determination.
Yeah.
And they do not understand it. And we see it in the universities. Universities have become one of the most sensitive arenas. You see it in the United States, in Canada, in Germany. We see encampments, protest movements, importing rhetoric from global activist networks. And you have to go against that. You need to debate whenever you can debate. So that's what I'm doing. But some people you cannot debate with. You need the prosecutors. And for all the others, we need to debate. Some people are telling me, yes, but why are you debating with them? They say, well, I'm not fighting anti-Semitism in synagogues. I'm fighting anti-Semitism where the antisemites are.
Yes, that's
So,
an amazing answer. Yeah.
I need to go there and I need to try at least to debate with them. So some you can reach, some not. I
Yeah.
have it just happened this morning. I have a friend who's working in my office. He just started a couple of months ago, and he had never anything to do with Jewish life. Nothing
Mm.
at all. He had nothing to do with Israel at all. And this morning we had a coffee in the morning break, and next to us there were two women sitting. And when we went out of the cafe, he said to me, "Those were Israelis." I said, "Yeah, did you hear? Yeah, they were talking Hebrew." He said, "Okay, now you know that it's Hebrew, and you understand more." And he learned a lot. So step by step by step, we need to explain the people what happens in the world, wherever they are, that Jews are not safe anywhere in the world, except of some places.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we heard from the community in Germany is that because when we started talking to them about what's going on the Jew hatred um, ecosystem, so they said that Germany has this role that you have because it's not obvious. I don't know any other country. I wonder if you know that has this role, specific commissioner for Jew hatred.
Yeah.
But they told me that many of these roles, basically, they said that all those people in these roles are part of the problem, and you are the only one that is part of the solution.
Oh, that's what they said in Germany?
That's what I heard from some of our members. What do
Good.
you have to say to that?
Well, it's always a bit problematic to talk about colleagues. But let me be, I mean, it's a closed room here, so it's fine. There are different people in those roles in Germany. Maybe we have a little bit too many of them because when you have them on every university, like in every municipality, it becomes a little bit problematic sometimes. On the state and the federal level, I'd say there are colleagues of mine who are doing a really good job, like my colleague in Bavaria. He's just fantastic.
Mm.
But from many of them, I don't hear anything. I see them twice a year in our meetings, but in between, I hear nothing from them and what they're doing. And when we have those meetings on the federal level, and they're telling me about the Jewish year in one state, and I say, okay, what's the Jewish year in one state? We're talking about history. And I say, listen, talking about history is nice and it's important, but only talking about history means we're not seeing actual Jewish life. And there is Jewish life. I think that what we did in the last decades in Germany was a focus on the Shoah and of the commemoration of the Shoah. And this is important, no doubt about that.
Mhm.
But there's also a vivid living Jewish life in Germany, which and the community needs support. And it needs support like on every corner of the community. When we saw that Stars of David have been painted on doors where Jews live in Germany, I mean in the year 2023, 2024. That's embarrassing, and people do not understand that the fight against anti-Semitism is not only a fight against anti-Semitism, it's also a fight for democracy.
Yeah.
Anti-Semitism is a threat for our democracy, and if we're not fighting it, um, we will lose our democracy.
Yeah.
And so I wish all of my colleagues would be more outspoken. There are some from the political area, there are some from the scientific area. They're coming all from different backgrounds. But I have not, we have changed in our state, we have changed our constitution. We added in 2023 the fight against anti Semitism and the support of the Jewish life as one of the state goals in our constitution. So,
Wow.
so I swore, well, you know what I mean,
Yeah. Swore. Yeah.
swore on the constitution.
Wow.
And when I swore on the constitution, it is my job to do it, to fight
Yeah.
against anti-Semitism. And I cannot fight anti-Semitism in just monitoring. Of course, I can tell you, yeah, it's nice and terrible to see that we have a rising of 30, 40% of more anti-Semitic incidents, but it doesn't mean anything if I don't do anything against it. And I
Yeah.
wish that we can do more. Someone asked about Q&A.
No, it's okay. I just remind them that we have
Oh,
Q&A
okay,
in 3 minutes. So
good,
like this, they can think of what they want to
good,
ask you. It's just because of the time. I'm sorry.
of course.
But we have 3 more minutes. And so I like what you're saying. We need to budget. We need to take more legal action and educate. These are the three things that you mentioned so far. What else would you do? If I would give you now infinite budget to solve this problem, what would you be doing?
Oh, infinite budget is great. Okay, we go into the schools and we put anti-Semitism and democracy education on a high priority. We go to the cultural sector and we change the cultural sector. No more money whatsoever. No more money for people who are um, who produce anti-Semitism. Um, we go to the universities. No more money for universities, and I would kick out the students who are anti-Semites and who behave like anti-Semites. Kick them out. And I would try to bring with this money real Jewish life into all the parts of Germany where there is no Jewish life. Try
Mm.
to make people understanding what's happening. And so give me the money, and I have a bunch of ideas what we can do. And but mostly education, cultural sector, universities. You know what happens
Yeah.
in schools? Need to tell you that what happens in schools here in Germany is on a very easy base. The Jews were there when the Nazis came to power. The Nazis killed the Jews. Some survived, and as a gift, they got the state of Israel. That's all what
Mm.
they learn. But whereas 1,500 years of Jewish life in Germany with all the doctors, the scientists, with the Nobel Prize winners from Germany, they were all Jewish. So Jewish life had a very, very big impact into the German society, the
Mm.
broader German society. And, we need to change our language as well. I just heard a speech from the chancellor where he said the Germans and the Jews. We say, what are you talking about, the German and the Jews? They are Germans. Jewish Germans, Christian Germans, and not the German and the Jews. The Jews belong to the to Germany. He said, yes, well, we know. They're here for 1,500 years. So of course they belong to Germany. And also in those narratives, we usually have the Germans and the Jews. Yeah, or take it from another country, the French and the Jews. No, Jewish French people, Jewish German people.
Yeah. There's a lot of vocabulary that needs to
Yeah.
be more precise. I understand. This is amazing. Thank you so much.